What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. Thank you for stepping in. I appreciate you guys. This is a recommendation from Ledobo. What happened to the game I love from the Prime Larry Bird channel? Let's get into it.
Right before the 2024 NBA All-Star Game, Larry Bird gave a pep talk to the players to give maximum effort.
The one thing
I did a whole video on this back during that All-Star Game.
I would really like to see is they play hard tonight in this All-Star Game.
And this is how they responded.
In last year's All-Star Game, Larry Bird walked into the locker room and talked to the players. And then one of the superstars, who will remain nameless, but everybody can surmise who that was, gave a side eye to those guys while they were talking. And then the players went out there and let 400 points be scored.
Clyde, Clippers wheel. Halliburton gives them what they came for. Flip that board. 200.
I think the All-Star game in general needs a little revamping because it used to be competitive. You know, fans want to see the best pickup game in the world.
Yeah.
That's what this is. They don't want to see you running up and down and dunking and doing all this crazy. Like, they want to see what happens when you get this collection of best basketball players on the planet, and they play and they go head up against each other.
Man,
I mean, you guys play harder at a pickup game in UCLA.
And then some people used to have a problem with Kobe and All-Star games. They're like, oh, it's Kobe. Oh, he's a tryhard. Oh, Kobe wanted to compete. He has said that his entire career. You're on this stage with the best basketball players in the world. This is your opportunity to pick out matchups, you know, do one-on-ones, still play the team game, whatever. Be competitive. Why not? And there used to be people that had a problem because they thought Kobe tried too hard. Not everybody, but some people. And then as Kobe aged and the younger generation started swirling around him, Kobe saw that they wasn't trying to compete no more. He publicly spoke out about it on his last All-Star game in his 20th season. And they didn't come out and compete. I'm glad Kobe got out when he did because, man, the league was just becoming... Anyway.
Hey,
for real.
It ain't billions of people watching.
For real.
Definitely do.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely do.
Which is why the next year, Larry Bird didn't even bother to show up. He was disgusted because today's players just don't seem to care.
Yeah.
The All-Star game, he's disgusted. He was invited last year, you know. And,
He wouldn't go.
He thought it's a joke, and it is a joke, and it's awful. And I blame these players. They don't have any sense of personal pride. I don't understand it. They gave us 211 to 186 last year. It's disgraceful. It's embarrassment to me. I mean, they should be embarrassed.
They've got to do something with this All-Star weekend.
Oh, man, we talked about that.
This is the first time in history I didn't watch the entire weekend.
Wow.
I didn't go,
neither.
didn't watch, because you don't have to give 100%, but you got to give 80.
Yeah.
You got to give 75.
Yeah, 75, 80, ramp it up in the end. But yeah, they did compete back then.
Make it a game and make it competitive.
So I went to Larry, and I said, Larry, what was your attitude toward All-Star games? I wanted to win. Quote, unquote, I wanted to win. We played competitive games. No, you don't want anybody to get hurt. But you played basketball, and you wanted to win. Gee, how elementary is that?
Bird trying to save it, and here come to the east. The dock in open court. Teets, goaltending charge against David Thompson. And Larry Bird picking up where he left off.
And when guys stopped doing that and participating, Michael Jordan was in the slam dunk contest.
Yeah.
Dr. J, Dominique Wilkins, Clyde Drexler.
Bird three-pointers.
Yes. It made everybody tune in. And then made players want to watch too.
The guys got to play.
They got to play. They got to play. We took pride in playing.
Yes.
82 games. Like, I wanted to.
Yes.
Toe hurting, knee, ear, finger. Like, I still want to be. I'm out there.
And here the ovation as he comes hopping out of the tunnel. This is the sight that the Celtics fans want to see. Gore returns. Rondo to Pierce. Pierce for three. Bang!
As a lifelong Laker fan, this game still hurts me.
Celtics back up by one. To reject it. Rondo back to Pierce. Another three. Puts it in. Back-to-back three-pointers for Paul Pierce.
Bro, real shit, it was totally different. It wasn't no, you was out 2-3 games, man. Your teammates, hey, bro, what you doing tonight? You going? Nah, I can't go, man. My toenail off, man. I can't. Nah, bro, you can't even come in here and lead no niggas like that. You hear me?
Nah.
So you had to strap it up and you had to get out here. You had to dive on the floor. You had to get in the rumble. Yeah.
Right.
Real shit. Right. You had, man, it was men leading men.
I love the NBA game, but then I turn on to a game, right? The stars are not playing. It's hurting the game. And fans see it, and fans are reacting to low management. They don't get to see their stars. One game I tuned into just a couple weeks ago, both stars were out on both teams. That made the game ragged.
If you get paid to go to work, you got to go to work. You know, I probably should have retired in 88, 89.
He had lost the structural stability in his spine, so it would slip into abnormal positions to try and lock itself to get an artificial stability. That's like getting your finger stuck in a door and somebody's still pushing on the door. So what we had to do was unlock his spine, realign it, do techniques that would hold that for 4 hours, 6 hours, that type of thing, and then he'd go play basketball.
And every time I would play, I was wondering if I was going to be in a wheelchair. Was I ever going to be able to, you know, walk on the beach or hold my kids? But it's that competition. Maybe one more chance, me and Magic get together in the finals.
The Bird versus Magic rivalries of the 80s have completely disappeared in today's NBA. And that drama is what made the casual fan tune in. But now, whether it's players versus the fans...
We got a fan that's got a little unruly, and LeBron...
I wish these players brought that same energy they have for the fans. I wish they would bring that same energy to the other players on the opposite team on the court when they're competing. They got all the smoke in the world for fans. Oh, man. A little bit of heckling. They can't take a little bit of heckling. You know the type of things people in the crowd were saying to players even 20 years ago. And it was acceptable at the time. Man, these guys are so soft, man.
Is pointing it out to the officials. And what they're going to do is they're going to put them out.
Versus the media. Versus the refs.
Now, Fred VanVleet was just thrown out of the game.
Freddie's got to be careful. Hopefully he didn't make contact with the referee.
Yeah, that's not good.
Or even versus the ownership.
Throughout this game as Doncic rips another one and immediately turns to the Mavericks bench.
Today's NBA is losing viewership because it's gotten away from what made the NBA great in the first place, which is when players had actual rivalries with other players.
What's happened to the rivalries in today's game? I mean,
they don't hate each other. I hated Larry and every Celtic.
When Magic Johnson talk about that hatred, that's what we love to see. That doesn't happen because everybody mingling with one another.
Now everybody's shaking each other's hand. Everybody like each other, won't go at each other like really hard.
And their attitude, as long as we give you that 48 minutes on the court, we good. And in the end, we don't really care because we got our paper, but it's hurt the game.
That's what happened to the All-Star game, see? We hated the East.
Right.
I'm coming to bust you.
Right.
Michael, Isaiah, Dr. J. You can't have one over me. See, I'm coming to get that. Now,
okay, Magic. This is what I
let them score 200 to 200. What is that?
But if the players don't care, then why should the fans care?
It's a reason why the number of viewerships are going down, and these guys better wake up and say, hey, man, we got to change this.
We wanted to play in every game.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to be in the slam dunk. I don't want to be at the All-Star weekend. Guys talking about they don't want to be the face of the league. It's crazy now. And we've never seen that ever before in the history of the NBA. Well, for me, I think the integrity of the game is gone. As an identity for the league as a whole, it don't have that tough, every night I'm going to watch these guys, they going to compete and try to kill each other to win. All that in the whole is really the reason why I think the viewership is down.
The thing that I most dislike about today's game, if a team is getting beat by 25 points and you've got your star players sitting over there laughing on the sideline, if I was the executive running that team, that person would be in my...
It's fitting they would have this clip of LeBron James dancing. He used to do that a lot during his first run with Cleveland, and then dialed it down a bit after he went to Miami. But he would still do other kinds of antics on the bench and things like that. Listen, not my style of tea. I'm more of a Kobe Bryant guy, so I'm more of a no-nonsense guy when I get to work. You know, I put my hard hat on. But remember Larry Bird said, if I want to have fun, I play with LeBron James. If I want to win championships, I'm going to play with Kobe Bryant. He said that before LeBron James started winning, but that's a whole nother story I don't feel like getting into now. But case in point.
Office the next day, and I want to know what's so damn funny. This is serious.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Playing games on the sideline. Come on, man. When have you... Oh, my God. I've never seen... Boy.
I don't like that at all. I think it shows a disrespect for the game.
However, the players do care about one thing, which is another reason why the game is losing its core audience: politics.
Kobe Bryant and nearly every other Los Angeles Laker donned a T-shirt bearing the phrase, "I can't breathe." That's a reference to Garner's last words.
Justice for Breonna Taylor that's going to be my answer for everything. So
we are calling for justice for Jacob Blake and demand the officers be held accountable.
The training has to change in the police force. The unions have to be taken down in the police force.
Mitch McConnell, I ask all of you senators who refuse to do anything about the violence and school shootings and supermarket shootings, I ask you, when are we going to do something? They want to hold on to their own power. It's pathetic. I've had enough.
Hall of Fame basketball coach Phil Jackson, who coached greats like Michael Jordan, Shaq, and Kobe Bryant, isn't watching much basketball these days. Why? Because the NBA is too political.
They did something that was kind of wanky. They did a bubble down in Orlando. They even had slogans on the floor, on the baseline. It was trying to cater to an audience or trying to bring a certain audience into play. And they didn't know it was turning other people off. People want to see sports as non-political.
I like politics, I'm engaged, and I like sports. Show me the study where fans and consumers are demanding they're together. Like, I love tuna fish. I have a sandwich every day, and I love ice cream. I don't like tuna fish ice cream.
But aside from politics, the game itself has...
I am one, and I've said this from the beginning, and people disagree with me, get mad at me. I can't believe you said that. I don't watch basketball for politics. If I want to get into my social justice bag, my political bag, there are mediums and places I go to engage in that kind of stuff. I watch basketball to watch basketball, to enjoy the sport, to analyze the sport. I do not watch basketball to watch politics. So when they was doing all this stuff, I'm just like, can we start the game? And then when people try to like, oh, LeBron James is greater than Kobe or greater than Jordan because he's a social justice warrior. He spoke on his politics. I was like, what does that have to do with basketball? We are evaluating and comparing them as basketball players. Keep everything else that happens off the court. It has nothing to do with the critique as a basketball player. I could give a damn how many schools he opened up when I'm talking basketball. LeBron James can open 400 schools and feed 400 zebras for all I care. But that doesn't make him a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. I mean, what are we talking about? And then I also find it funny how the NBA is selective on what politics they're going to allow people to speak out publicly on. If it's all about this cause, you're all for it. But if somebody wants to talk about something, nothing criminal, but something that they believe in that doesn't align with the NBA's vision or their political stand, Now this guy's in the wrong. Wait, what? What? Blows my mind, man. And I always found it funny because they always use the political thing with LeBron James when they try to boost him up or whatever. And I'm like, there's a bunch of players in the NBA that do more for the community and are more ingratiated into politics than LeBron James. They just don't get the recognition for it. Some of it do it publicly, but their name isn't LeBron James. So they don't get recognized for it publicly. And you got a lot of people that do things, I don't want to say in secrecy, but they don't want their name attached to it. So they do their good deeds, and they don't need the recognition. But I always said, it's easy for LeBron James, as a black person, to be, Black Lives Matter, of course, he's a black guy living in the United States. He's not doing anything, controversial or like extremely dangerous. He's not really, putting his neck on a chopping board in that situation. It's easy. Talk to me when he really crosses those lines to stand on something that he really believes. Then I'll know it's for real. Sure enough, what happened with China? They told him to shut the hell up. They told him to shut up, and the league told him to shut up and dribble. You're costing us money. Don't mention China again. What he did fell right in line. That was LeBron James' chance to really show he was about that political life. He was really about taking a stand in social injustice. That was the time he could have did it. And he stepped right in line with everybody else. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm a basketball player. I can't talk about politics. There's people that, are better suited for this type of thing. I was like, I told y'all. And y'all trying to compare him to actual people that really took a stand in activism. Y'all trying to compare him to Bill Russell in terms of activism when these guys actually had a lot to lose and a much harder time? Y'all trying to compare him to Kareem? Y'all trying to compare him to Muhammad Ali? Man, come on, man. Can we stop this? Those guys did it at a time where it wasn't popular to speak out. And they really would put their life on the line and their career on the line to make the statement. These guys, including LeBron James, ain't doing that today. And he proved it with that whole China situation. Now call me a liar.
It's overall just gotten soft.
If I'm being honest, bro, I don't think anybody in this generation could have played like 20 years ago. 20 years ago, bro, you couldn't get to a triple step back.
No.
You hear what I'm saying to you? You couldn't get to a triple step back, and it was so fucking hard. It was too physical.
When you don't believe what it was like in the 70s, 80s, will you please watch the documentary on the Detroit bad guys? And nobody got thrown out of those games. And you saw guys flying into the stands. Mike, you were there. Come on. I mean, it was a joke. I mean, today you would, on one hit, you would be suspended for a month here, okay? And that's why it's hysterical when these guys are bitching about going to the rim. They don't know what it was like to go to the rim in the 70s and 80s because you might not get up again.
Bro, they was coming to the lane. You might get your nose broke trying to dunk. You understand? Dwayne Wade broke Cole's nose in the All-Star game. Man, bro, it's just different. It was very different back then, bro.
And then you had to take all of those hits like Jordan and the...
And the only reason it got physical between him and Wade is because Kobe kept going at Wade. Kobe was taking the game seriously. So then Wade, he was like, all right, I ain't going to have Kobe keep coming at me. I'm going to give him some pressure back.
Irvins and all of the guys that were the big, and Magic and Bird and all these guys. Come on.
If you watch the NBA, it has changed so much over the years. It's about entertainment. Damn, the rules are so relaxed, okay? They are just so relaxed. I think it's easier to score now than it's ever been in the history of basketball.
Today, we've got a green light for these guards and small forwards to get to the rim now, and you have to play them perfectly without the hand contact or the forearm.
The way they play defense today, where you can't hand check, you can't contest shots, you got to come on the side. I think Larry Legend could have averaged 30, 35, the way he was able to shoot threes.
Well, he averaged 30 a couple of times, so.
I was about to say, well, he averaged about 30 one season. 29.9, but about 30 one season. Y'all Larry Bird people, correct me if I'm wrong, but 29.9, we'll give him at 30, but yes, one season. But I do believe Larry Bird in this NBA could have averaged, if he was really trying to go out and score, like, you know, Larry's going to play his game. He's not worried about the points, but he could easily score, 36, 37 points per game in this NBA.
So add in the 3 and these rules, then he probably 35, 36 a game.
I lost the scoring title to Kobe the year he averaged 35. I averaged 33. And if I was to play in this era where it's wide open, if I can average 33 in a
Back
season,
then.
I'm going to just take it up to 43. I know 10 points more.
I'm a little biased. I was a defensive-oriented player, and with the way the game is being called today, it would have limited me on my aggressiveness because they've taken away the physicality of the game.
David Stern did a great job of taking all of the physicality out of the game.
And with no animosity and no physicality, the game is just kind of boring.
I think the physicality has been taken out of the game. And to me, that's boring. I don't think that makes for a great product.
Not to mention all of the flopping.
He bruised his ribs in game 2, landed hard there. Just a whisker. Draymond. But he's going to get called on him, and he's going to foul out. Nope, check that.
They both flop.
Is applauding the
Look at this, man. Look at this, man.
Send that technical on Carroll.
Ridiculous.
That's the third time today, Dell, that the Hornets have fouled a three-point shooter.
Shot
Yeah.
clearly away.
Fouled a three-point shooter.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Oh.
Let's watch LaFlop James here in this marquee game. Play the clip.
Made contact with James and the foul called.
On James here, look after the play. A little bit of a wing.
LaFlop is a bad look. Flopping around, trying to draw fouls, trying to cheat the game, basically. There's no honor to the way LeBron James competes. Basketball, it looks a lot like soccer, a very finesse, soft game of soccer where they flop around and do all that. And LeBron and Luka Doncic are two of the leaders of this.
If I go to another game and you don't call a foul, these players go berserk now, as if it's a rite of passage to go to the basket and look for a foul. They're not even going to the basket to score. They're just going to the basket to get fouled.
It's pathetic. I mean, for me to watch this game the way I was taught how to play the game and to watch this and what they allow to let go, it's an embarrassment. I'm sorry, it is. It's an incredible game. The athletes are incredible. What they can do is incredible. But they're getting away with murder. If you're going to allow them to get away with it, hell, of course I'll keep doing it. And I blame the officials.
Unfortunately, everyone's doing it, and it's probably not going to go back to the way it used to be because it's a copycat league. And if something works, they're going to run that strategy into the ground. Which brings me to my last point. Everyone plays the exact same way. There's literally no creativity left in the game because everyone shoots too many threes.
All 30 teams play the same exact way. How? What, they all got in one big room and all came to the conclusion this is the way to play? Everyone runs a 5-out offense. Everyone shoots 50 threes a night. And whoever makes the most threes, more times than not, wins the game now. There's no more creativity. There's no more imagination. We have basically robots running up and down the court. You run to the three-point line, I run to the three-point line.
What makes basketball a beautiful game is you watch two different styles of play clash, and they're being creative.
That's a point I used to bring up all the time, and I remember, oh, just shut up, you're a hater. I was like, no, there's no matchups anymore, like team matchups. Coaches bringing in their different philosophies and playbooks, your style versus my style. Like, that's long gone, man. You might have like a small handful of teams that have some type of creativity in their offensive schemes, but largely it is just spread the three-point line and just keep chucking them up. And then it takes away what it means to be a three-point specialist as well.
Put analytics into
to some degree
that puts them as the same guy. You know, if they're both going to shoot 10 to 15 threes a night, where is that creativity? When does that shine?
It's more fun for me to go watch a pickup game than to watch the NBA right now because no one plays the same exact way in the pickup game. But when you watch an NBA game, everyone plays the same exact way. It's just a program now. Like the defense is up on you, but you're still trying to shoot a three. The defense drops off of you. You're still trying to shoot a three. Well, they're dropping off of you because probably you can't shoot.
You have guys standing out there heaving up threes that's really not three-point shooters.
Everybody is so enamored with the...
No, but they're shooting so many of them, and they're just going to keep launching them. Next thing you know, they're passing up actual three-point specialists and all-time three-pointers made, but they're not even three-point shooters. And then they'll be like, pass Reggie Miller in three-point shooting. He's not a better three-point shooter than Reggie Miller. He just shoots a bunch of them.
Three-point shot. So the kids, they don't want 2 points. They don't want to work with their back to the basket. That's not cool. They want to go out there in the stratosphere and shoot three-pointers. And they don't get to realize that if you get close to the basket, a lot more of your shots will go in. They don't...
Well, according to advanced analytics.
Seem to understand that.
The NBA made a big mistake when everybody tried to model themselves after the Golden State Warriors. You know, Golden State Warriors...
I was about to mention that a minute or two ago. It's like it all started after they tried to be like the Warriors. But the problem is, the Warriors have two of the greatest shooters of all time. And they also had other shooters on that team, especially when they had KD. You had three of the best shooters of all time. But when people get lost or tend to forget with the Warriors actually took smart threes. They passed the ball around. They took good shots. People failed to understand that part and were just jacking up bad threes. Because there were years where the Warriors weren't even like top 5 in three-pointers attempted. But it's the way Anyway, I'll shut up. I'm done.
Had the three greatest shooters who ever lived. So everybody started shooting threes.
Every team shouldn't be shooting that many threes because every team don't have Steph Curry, Clay, and KD on their team. You don't have nothing close to number 1, 2, and 4, 5. You don't have that to be taking the same many shots as them.
You got guys coming down, chucking up a 3, 4 or 5 seconds into the shot clocks. I would say that's why the viewing is down. It's too much of the All-Star game feeling. Because it's just an up and down game where we shooting a bunch of three-pointers.
Bro, 20 years ago? Nah, nobody in this era could have played 25 years ago. We said that. And all the skill that everybody got actually was called bad shots and lack of efficiency. It was until they started fucking with all the data and saying take more threes than twos. Before then, we played ball, bro. And then y'all exhaust the ball. Y'all are dribbling the air out of the ball.
Right.
Y'all dribble the ball 100 times more than another nigga.
Right.
Catch it off the bounce. 1 dribble, 2 dribble, pull up. Let me see you do that off the bounce.
Right.
And then, 2, if you was dribbling the air out of the ball, bro, nigga told you straight up, hey, man.
Come on, man.
Swing it, man. What you doing?
What you doing?
5 more dribbles? You out here? Hold on, I got it. Back it up.
Don't miss. You know, I like to see the balance. I like to see passing, which I think has been limited in this, inside, outside, doing both. I think it's really heavily weighted right now with the three-point shot. I think it's really heavily weighted towards scoring. They just want to see the numbers go up, and I think that's a bad strategy. But right now, I think they want guys to be able to run free, not be touched, and show their talents.
Our greatest players in the game are mid-range assassins.
And remember, Ant Edwards was complaining. Talk about piggybacking off what John Stockton said. Oh, I'm not allowed to show you how good I really am because of double teams. I'm like, what? Oh, my God. You know what?
We've taken the mid-range out of the game based on numbers.
Right.
The mid-range game is being lost. There is a lack of appeal to it right now watching it. Nowadays, what you're seeing, guys pump fake and step sideways, on the three-point line, and you're making it a tougher shot than necessarily getting into the paint and getting something mid-range.
NBA personnel, executives, head coaches, analytic people, presidents of teams.
For you young cats that are like, Reggie Miller. I'm not Reggie Miller. Oh, Ray Allen saying that. He was a three-point shooter. Listen, your version of Ray that you saw, he was camped out more on the three-point line. Because you only know Ray Allen from maybe those last couple years on the Boston Celtics, especially, and the Miami Heat. Ray Allen, in his prime, was in the mid-range, handling the basketball, scoring in isolation, getting to the cup, dunking, yes. Ray Allen was scoring from a lot of areas on the floor in his prime. Y'all only know role player or really good role player, Ray Allen, 3-point shooter. I'm telling you.
General managers of teams.
Talk to me about Seattle Supersonics and Milwaukee Bucks, Ray Allen.
Tell me to my face, Mo, and look at me with a straight face, and they say the following. A 2-point shot is a bad shot. It's like getting to a point now, Mo, where the scale has tipped so far that I'm just like, it is what it is. So I'm going to leave that alone.
I believe it's bad for our young kids that watch because don't settle for threes. I hated shooting threes to start a game because you want to kind of build your rhythm into it. Get to the free throw line, make some easy layups. And then the best time to shoot a three-pointer is off of offensive rebound. And right now, it's like the first thing that players do.
In my era, I remember when I first came to Georgetown, we played Virginia.
With Ralph
Sampson. Ralph took a shot from about the top of the key right here. And I came down and took one from the free throw line, and Coach Thompson called timeout. He cursed me out. He said, son, get your butt in the paint. But now it's a different era. Bigs now, they want to shoot threes. That's the way the game has progressed.
Just because Dirk is 7 feet tall and he's a great shooter, just because Kevin Durant is 7 foot and he's a great shooter, that don't mean all you other 7-foot dummies should be out there shooting jumpers. There's a couple reasons why I think it's stupid to play like that. Because number one, you take your size advantage out the game. Guys who are physically bigger and stronger, why did I want them out on the perimeter?
Don't get me started on that, because y'all know who I'm about to talk about. I ain't even going to say it.
Because I'm not getting the other team in foul trouble if I'm shooting threes.
Every single coach at the collegiate level or the pro level, you know what the first thing they ask me, Mo? Can he shoot? If I sent you Shaquille O'Neal, would you ask that question? And nowadays, Mo, they probably would. If Shaquille O'Neal was playing in today's game, some executive would say, well,
he can't shoot,
so let's not play him. You can't tell me that, Mo. You can't tell me that the only thing that matters in the game is in someone's ability to shoot a three.
Listen, if you have
I agree.
O'Neal, or Moses Malone, Charles Barkley, if you don't let us post up and get the other team in foul trouble or draw the double, you just don't know how to coach.
People are always asking me, where are the centers? And now the centers are the ones out there shooting threes, and the guards are the ones that are posting up.
I am the reason that big guys do not want to play in the paint anymore.
I remember when Mike Brown benched Andrew Bynum for shooting a three in transition. And looking back on it, I'm like, Andrew Bynum was just a couple of years too early.
Before I fell in love with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, Too Tall Jones and Mean Joe Green was my guy. So when I came to the game, the more physical I became, I just seen all the other centers do this. They just slowly keep doing that, keep doing that. And now, 15, 20 years later, you got guys shooting threes. It's cute, but at the center position, you're supposed to be the most efficient piece on the floor. Like if I didn't shoot over 70%, I was upset.
I like to see the bigs have more of a footing back in the game because, you look at the big guys.
If I understood Shaq correctly, I think he might be giving himself a little more credit than he deserves. Maybe I misunderstood him.
Guys, field goal percentage, they're shooting, the best throughout a season, maybe 60+%. And that's where a lot of times your bread's buttered, and I think we've gone away from that, and I'd like to see us get back to that.
My contention is if a big man comes in and wants to dominate, he can dominate.
Yes.
And easily.
I agree.
We have shifted away from physicality.
I agree.
Shifted away from all that. Teams don't know how to play anymore. Like right now, teams are switching 1 to 5. I wish Spud Webb would have switched out on me. I wish Doc Rivers would have switched out on me. So if you get another guy that comes in, it'll be like it was back in the old day. There'll be one guy that you got to change your defenses for. Then the game will start to shift back.
I don't disagree with what Shaq said. I've said it 100 times on this channel. Give me Shaq. Y'all say, Shaq couldn't play in today's league. Shaq, shut the hell. Give me Shaq. I'll show you exactly what Shaq would do. Decimating your teams. Telling you. I've said everything I had to say throughout the video. this was good to watch. It was fun to watch, but also frustrating because the NBA as a product today is just so bad. So bad. And I say this as still an NBA fan today. This is the worst the NBA has ever been, product-wise. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.